So I'm thinking about my indigenous people, which just breaks my heart. Like knowing, then Rockefeller came and funded the medical schools and everything, and they destroyed. We had this. We had this knowledge from the indigenous, because where did the indigenous come from? There were people already in the Americas, you know, um, the American Indian. They were black, but they don't want to tell us that because they don't want to. They don't want to admit that the earth belongs to, that the land belongs to black people. They will never admit that. So they erased just entire ways of life that were so much more peaceful, like this, living off the ground. They burn coconut shells to keep the mosquitoes away. And the smell is pleasant. It's not, I mean, if you can stand incense, because a lot of people in the US can't stand incense, and I feel sorry for those people. I'm suspicious of people who can't stand incense. Maybe they have too many demons, They can't stand the smell of purity and healing, and nature. No chemicals needed. Just burn coconut shells, and that keeps the mosquitoes away. I didn't even know that, and I'm from an island that's full of palm trees. You probably knew that at some point. I watch how my great grandmother, she had these mixed beliefs from mix of the Spaniards and the indigenous and the Africans, and who she worshipped. Because we had what it's called syncretism in Puerto Rico. Syncretism is when you take someone's, like, the indigenous and the Africans had to hide the goddesses that they worshipped. So they pretended that they were worshiping, because they would get beat or killed. So they were pretending that they would worship Virgin Mary and Jesus. And they would hide it. They would pretend that they were worshiping the Europeans, gods. And they were really worshiping the goddesses and the nature gods that we believed in. And they used to hide it, pretend. So what happened is it blended over time. It blended to the point that my great-grandmother, who died in her 90s, by the way, over a decade ago, she would pray to saints that were not Catholic, but she would say she was Catholic because it was so embedded in her head to have to say that she was Catholic. So that's just, like, talk about programming. Talk about such programming that then it became like, oh yeah, I'm Catholic, and you're worshiping African goddesses. Like, it's called syncretism. We had to pretend. We had to pretend to be like the Europeans to survive. And the sad thing, we're still doing it in the island. Some of us have woken up.